The grave was shallow. A spade hit the ground once, then twice, then stopped. The woman standing there froze when a phone light flashed behind her. Her white wedding gown was hidden inside a black bag at her feet. Her hands shook. Somewhere in the dark compound, a gate creaked. "Who is there?" she whispered. Before anyone answered, police sirens wailed far away, growing louder by the second. And just like that, the bride who was supposed to marry one of Lagos's richest men turned and ran. Hours earlier, the whole of Ikoyi buzzed with one story. The wedding of billionaire Adrian Cole Daniels had been called off. People could not believe it. Adrian was careful, proud, and always in control. His bride-to-be, Serena Vaughn, was young, calm, and admired. Their wedding had been all over social media. Big planners, big guests, big promises. So when the news broke that the wedding was cancelled just 2 days before the date, everyone was shocked. At Serena's apartment on Victoria Island, her phone would not stop ringing. Friends called, family members sent messages. Some begged her to explain, some blamed her, some simply watched in silence. Serena sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the screen of her phone. A single message from Adrian stayed open. "I am sorry, I cannot go on with the wedding. I have decided to fix things with my past." That was all. No long talk, no meeting, no respect. Her heart felt tight, but her face stayed calm. Serena had learned long ago not to cry in front of people. She stood up slowly, walked to the mirror and looked at herself. "You chose her again," she said quietly. She knew who he meant. Lydia Hale, Adrian's ex-girlfriend. The woman he once swore he was done with. The woman Serena had always feared, but never spoke about. Serena picked up her phone and made a call. "Is it done?" a male voice asked. "Yes," Serena replied. "He called it off." There was a pause. "Then we move tonight," the voice said. Serena did not answer right away. She walked to the window and looked down at the busy Lagos road. Cars moved like nothing had changed. People laughed. Life continued. "Meet me at my house," she finally said. "By 10 I'll invite him over." Serena's mansion in Lekki Phase 1 stood quiet that night, too quiet for a woman who loved attention. When Adrian arrived, the security guards recognized him at once. "Boss, welcome," one said, opening the gate. He smiled, the same soft smile he always wore. "I actually want us to talk," he said, "just to clear things." Inside the house, Adrian looked tired. He did not expect her calm tone. "I never wanted it to end like this," he said. Serena nodded. She sat down slowly. "Neither did I," she replied. She did not raise her voice. She did not shout. She listened as he spoke about mistakes, about old feelings, about choosing peace. Then she asked one simple question. "So all our plans meant nothing? You were just using me to pass time?" Adrian opened his mouth to answer. That was when the front door clicked shut on its own. And somewhere in the house, another pair of footsteps moved closer. Adrian turned his head. "Is someone else here?" he asked. Serena's face did not change. She folded her hands on her lap and looked at him calmly. "You said you wanted peace," she replied. "Peace sometimes needs witnesses." From the hallway stepped a tall man wearing a cap pulled low over his face. His name was Marcus Reed. Adrian knew him. Marcus had once worked as a private driver before he disappeared suddenly from Adrian's company. "What is he doing here?" Adrian asked sharply as he stood up. Serena also stood slowly. "He is here because he knows the truth," she said, "and so do I now." Adrian laughed, but the sound was forced. "What truth?" Serena walked closer to him. Her voice was still gentle, but her words were heavy. "You never planned to marry me," she said. "You were only buying time until Lydia came back." "That is not true," Adrian said quickly. "You do not understand." "I understand very well," Serena cut in. "I saw the messages. I saw the pictures you both took at a lounge. I heard about the promise you made to her last week." Adrian froze. Marcus moved closer to the door and stood there quietly. Serena continued, "You told her the wedding plans was a mistake. You told her you were only using me to protect your image." "That was private," Adrian said. "You had no right." "I had every right," Serena replied. "I was your supposed bride. You make people make mockery of me." The room fell silent. Adrian rubbed his face with his hands. "I was going to explain, and that is why I'm even here," he said. "I just needed time." Serena smiled sadly. "You had time. You chose not to use it." She turned and nodded at Marcus. "Leave us," she said. Marcus hesitated. "Are you sure?" "Yes," Serena replied. Marcus stepped out of the room, but the door did not fully close. Adrian looked confused. "What is this about?" Serena took a deep breath. "I invited you here to talk," she said, "but I also invited you here to listen." She picked up her phone and played a voice recording. It was Adrian's voice. He was laughing, talking to Lydia, promising her a future, saying the wedding would never happen, saying how he really missed her all these years and that Serena was just all over him and rushing things. Adrian rushed forward. "Stop that," Serena stepped back. "Sit down," she said firmly. Something in her eyes made Adrian obey. "You embarrassed me," she continued. "You made me look foolish before my family, friends, and everybody." "I am sorry," Adrian said. "I will make it right." Serena shook her head. "Some things cannot be fixed." She turned toward the small table beside the couch and reached for a glass of water. Adrian noticed Marcus standing at the door. Again. "Why is he still here?" Adrian asked. Before Serena could answer, the lights flickered. Adrian stood up suddenly. "Serena, what is going on?" She looked at him one last time. "This is where your story ends," she said quietly. From behind Adrian, Marcus took a step forward, and at that moment, Adrian realized he was no longer in control. Adrian turned slowly. "Marcus," he said, forcing a smile, "let us all calm down." Marcus did not smile back. His face was stiff, like someone who had waited too long for justice. "You do not remember me well," Marcus said, "but I remember you." Serena stepped away from Adrian and stood beside the table. Her hands were steady now. "Marcus lost everything because of you," she said. "His job, his reputation, his family trust." Adrian frowned. "That was business. You broke company rules." "You framed me," Marcus replied. "You needed someone to blame when your money went missing." Adrian opened his mouth to argue, but Serena raised her hand. "Enough," she said. "Tonight is not for excuses or arguments." She looked at the clock on the wall. It was almost midnight. Adrian noticed her glance and felt uneasy. "Why are you watching the time?" Serena did not answer. She picked up the glass of water and pushed it toward him. "Drink," she said. "You look tired." Adrian hesitated. "I am fine." "Please," Serena said softly, "for old time's sake." He picked up the glass and took a small sip. Nothing seemed wrong. Serena relaxed a little. "Sit down," she said. Adrian sat. They spoke for a few minutes, calm words, slow talk. Serena spoke about their first meeting, about how she believed in love. Adrian listened, his head starting to feel heavy. "Did you lock the gate?" Serena asked Marcus. "Yes," Marcus replied. Adrian's eyes widened. "What gate?" "The back gate," Serena said. "We do not want visitors." Adrian tried to stand, but his legs felt weak. He fell back onto the couch. "What did you do to me?" he asked, his voice shaking. Serena looked at him with tears in her eyes. "I only helped you sleep." Marcus stepped closer. "You will not feel pain," he said. Adrian tried to scream, but his voice was low and broken. Serena turned her face away. Minutes passed. The house stayed silent. When Serena turned back, Adrian was no longer moving. Marcus checked his pulse and nodded slowly. "It is done," he said. Serena covered her mouth. Her body shook, but she did not scream. They worked quickly, carefully. The lights stayed off. The security cameras had already been disabled. By the time the clock struck midnight, Serena and Marcus wrapped Adrian's body, drove to his house, and hid the body at the back of the compound. Marcus wiped his hands. "We must leave now," Serena nodded. "Tomorrow I travel." She went inside and changed her clothes. She packed only one bag, but just as they were about to leave, Serena's phone rang, unknown number. She answered slowly. "Madam Serena," a voice said, "this is the police." Her heart stopped. "We would like to ask you some questions about Mr. Adrian Cole Daniels." Serena looked at Marcus, and in that moment she knew something had gone wrong. Probably his phone has been tracked to his last location. Serena ended the call without saying a word. Marcus stared at her. What did they say? They asked about Adrian, she replied quietly. Nothing more. That means someone talked, Marcus said. Serena shook her head. No one saw us. They left the house separately, just as planned. Marcus drove out first using a different gate. Serena followed later in a hired car. She kept her head down as the car moved through the quiet streets of Lekki. By morning, the news was everywhere. Billionaire Adrian Cole Daniels missing. Television screens showed his picture. Social media talked non-stop. Some people said he traveled, some said he was hiding, others said something was wrong. Serena sat in a small hotel room on the mainland, watching everything unfold. Her name had not been mentioned yet. She smiled faintly. At noon, her phone rang again. This time, it was Marcus. They are checking his accounts, he said. They are also checking people close to him. Serena's fingers tightened around the phone. Stay calm. Follow the plan. I am calm, Marcus replied, but one thing worries me. What? She asked. The neighbor, Marcus said. The man beside Adrian's house. He has cameras facing the back compound. Serena's heart skipped. Did you disable those? She asked. I thought they were off, Marcus replied, but I am not sure. Before Serena could answer, someone knocked on her hotel door. She froze. Who is there? She asked. Room service, a voice replied. She did not order anything. Slowly, Serena walked to the door and looked through the small opening. Two men stood outside. One wore a hotel uniform, the other did not. The second man raised his head and looked straight at the door. Serena stepped back. Her phone buzzed again. It was a message from an unknown number. We know you were at the house last night. Her breathing became fast. Another message followed. Your accomplice has been seen. Serena sat down hard on the bed. Across the city, Marcus was driving when he noticed a black car following him. Every turn he made, the car followed. His phone rang. It was Serena. Marcus, she whispered, they are closing in. Before he could reply, blue lights flashed in his mirror. Marcus pressed the brake. Police cars surrounded him. As officers stepped out, one of them spoke loudly. Marcus Reed, step out of the vehicle. Marcus closed his eyes. Back in the hotel room, Serena watched the news as breaking footage appeared. Suspect arrested in connection to missing billionaire. She dropped the remote. Her escape plan was falling apart, and she knew it was only a matter of time before they came for her. Serena stood in front of the mirror and tied her scarf carefully. Her flight was in 2 hours. She had changed hotels twice that day. She used cash. She kept her phone off most of the time. By evening, she believed she still had a chance. Just one more move, she whispered to herself. At the airport in Ikeja, people moved fast. Bags rolled, screens flashed departure times. Serena blended in. No one looked twice at her simple dress and quiet face. She reached the check-in line. Her heart began to settle. Then a television near the waiting area changed to breaking news. The picture on the screen made her stomach turn. Marcus. He sat in a small room, hands on the table, 2 officers beside him. The reporter's voice was clear. Marcus Reed, former employee of billionaire Adrian Cole Daniels, has confessed to helping hide the body of the businessman after his death late at night. Serena felt dizzy. The reporter continued, according to the confession, the crime was planned after the billionaire called off his wedding to reconcile with his ex-girlfriend. The bride-to-be allegedly invited him to her house, where he was poisoned, and his body was taken to his house and buried inside the compound. Serena stepped back slowly. Her secret was no longer a secret. On the screen, Marcus spoke. I helped her, he said, his voice tired. She was angry. She felt used. She said he destroyed her life, made her turn down other men and wasted her years. I helped move the body at midnight. Tears filled Serena's eyes. She turned away from the screen and walked fast toward the restroom. She locked herself inside a stall and covered her mouth to stop herself from crying. It is not over, she told herself. I can still leave. When she came out, 2 men stood near the sink. They looked at her calmly. Miss Serena Vaughn, one said, please come with us. Her legs felt weak. I have a flight, she said. You will not be needing it, the man replied gently. We will be needing you for few questioning. People watched as she was led away. Some recognized her. Whispers spread. Outside, police cars waited. Back in Lekki, officers returned to Adrian's house. Under the ground at the back of the compound, they found what Marcus had described. The truth shocked everyone who heard it. The bride who was meant to walk down the aisle had nearly escaped. Nearly. As Serena sat quietly in the police car, she stared out the window. She did not scream. She did not fight. She only whispered one sentence under her breath. He should never have called off that wedding. The car door closed, and the city waited for what would come next because she had crossed the lines. Deep down in her, she felt guilt raising in her chest, but it was too late and will have to face the consequences she would forever regret. What is your view about this story? Where are you watching from? Do well to let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting stories. Stay blessed.